Imagine you're pregnant and this murderous woman enters your house to steal the baby growing inside of you. That is the disturbing level these killers are at. And as someone that's watched over 100 serial killer movies, I'm gonna expose what makes these 3 woman killers the most scariest characters you've ever seen on TV. Let's start strong with this woman from the banned French movie named Inside. I personally believe she's easily the most disturbing thing I've ever seen, and the most disturbing in so many different ways. Perhaps let's start off with her hidden appearances throughout the movie. To give you some quick context, this movie is about this single pregnant mother named Sarah, who's just going about her day when this strange woman shows up at her door. A woman dressed in all black. She somehow knows very specific details about Sarah.
Déjà dit, mon mari dort.
Ton mari dort pas, Sarah. Il est mort.
And overall standing in this completely unfazed way, hidden in a complete dark shadow. Already her behavior is a lot scarier than most killers, and we've only just begun. Because next, after a few more minutes, the cops finally show up to speak with the frightened Sarah, and she provides them with a little more information on this mystery visitor. Did you guys notice that? During her conversation with the cops, the mystery woman brushes by in the background. The fact in real time we see her sneak into the household is insane. It makes everything feel so real, like we're following her break-in step by step. And I love how they didn't force any attention into the background, making it a genuinely hidden detail that many people completely miss. And her talentful hiding happens numerous times throughout the movie. Let's fast forward a few hours in the same haunting night, where the mystery woman is now seen peering at her from the background, hidden directly in the shadows, staring for some time, and then eventually drifting off into the abyss. And then a few minutes later, once again, when Sarah falls asleep in her bed, the devil is once again present, just simply watching over her. The theme of her existing in the background, it's so genuinely frightening because it gives this killer so much power. We may think we're all safe, and then she'll just casually walk by in the background, completely throwing off all our expectations, all our safety. And the best case of that can be found in the very beginning of the movie, where Sarah is seen photographing a happy couple in the park. We aren't supposed to see anything here because this is more of a filler scene just showing Sarah's photography hobby. But later in that very same night, we now see Sarah blow up these same pictures. And in those pictures, we once again see a figure of the exact same lady. Now, if you're brave enough and you go back to the original scene, we can actually see her present in that very same spot. And it truly highlights how much of a stalker she is, following Sarah literally from the beginning before anybody knew she was there. I know this is already insane stuff, but guys, the most disturbing part isn't even here yet, because the reason she's even after Sarah is genuinely frightening. Basically, this killer got into a car accident with Sarah many years ago, and this accident caused her to lose her baby because she was pregnant at the time. So fast forward a few years, she's now returned to take Sarah's now coming baby from her. Already that's so twisted, but I don't just mean wait for the baby to come out and then kidnap her. I mean grabbing a scissor from Sarah's bathroom and then trying to cut her stomach open while she sleeps. What? What are we talking about? And the measure she takes to bring Sarah down is on another level. She will stab Sarah's hand into a wall to keep her there. She will beat Sarah's face so bloody to the point we can't even tell her real skin tone, all while having this fruitful smile on her face. I'm sorry, but beating up a pregnant woman and having this type of reaction while you're doing it, it's hard for me to see you as anything else besides the genuine, vile, disgusting being that you are. It gets so brutal that at one point, Sarah tries to exit life so she doesn't have to deal with this brutal torture that's happening. But of course, in the end, the monster gets away with it. And she cuts open the stomach with a level of gore that I literally can't show you. And the movie ends with the woman rocking her new baby in this rocking chair with a fully burnt off face and a pool of blood to show for her hard work. Guys, I actually want you guys to try and comment a more disturbing killer because this is insane. And also, please subscribe while you guys are down there, because this next killer is somehow equally as twisted. One that might actually be a little more twisted because of her motives, especially what happens at the end. Imagine your name is May. In your whole life, you've been bullied for your looks, so you don't make any real friends and you spend all your formative years talking to this doll. And then imagine you're also working as a veterinarian, doing daily surgeries, dissecting various animals. Anyone that lives this type of life may start losing touch with with reality. For example, how happily she tells this story about a cat that literally died trying to socialize with this guy.
The fence was soaked in blood all the way around the yard.
Not understanding this isn't a conversation you have with a new friend, which is clearly shown by his disgusted reaction. But that's the whole point. She doesn't know what normal is. As the movie progresses, we can see how dangerous that can actually be. Very quickly, we notice she builds an obsession with this guy named Adam, mainly because he seems to be the only guy giving her any type of attention, a smidge of male interaction, which is something she's never had, so she quickly spins up these very wild fantasies about him, pretending to kiss him using her arm, or role-playing her and Adam using toy figures. Just normal things adults do, right? Right, guys? Both of us, we do this? Okay. It gets to a creepy point where she now starts staring at her phone, just waiting by it. A very obsessive trait that I've noticed many of these creepy killers have. And it's important I tell you this because when you fall this hard for someone, a rejection hurts even harder. Obviously, once Adam sees the type of person she is, especially on this night where we see she's turned on by blood, and of course then Adam rejects her. A rejection she once again lets out on her toy little doll, which may seem a little disturbing, but we're not even close to her actual insanity yet. You guys remember how earlier in the movie I mentioned she grew up talking to this specific doll? Well, that doll is slowly shattering throughout the movie. And in her mind, this doll is her only real friend. Perhaps her only real connection with anyone. So when unfortunately for her, the doll eventually breaks, there is a genuine shift in her psyche, a transformation that comes out of her. And this version is the very disturbing one.
You have really beautiful legs.
Throughout the movie, she shows an interest in people's specific body parts. You might think this is a random detail I'm throwing in, but her love for people's body parts becomes very dangerous when she realizes she now needs a new doll. Because like I mentioned, hers just broke. So her next decision is to now murder 4 separate people, taking their best body parts from them, like Adam's hands or this girl's legs, and sewing it all together to make a human life-sized doll. What? This is the most creepiest thing I've ever seen in a bed. What the hell? But I'm not kidding, it gets even crazier. She realizes the doll can't actually see her, can't acknowledge her because its eyes are fake. And her brilliant solution to this is to pull her own real eye out and place it onto the doll. So finally she can build the real connection. The connection she's so familiar with, the connection with a doll. What the hell?
Save me!
The only thing creepier is what happens next. There's so much to unpack here, but I'm gonna let you guys talk it out because this is just insane. Now, I actually want to talk about a woman most of you probably know. We're talking about Esther from the Orphan franchise, because no one really addresses what makes her actually disturbing. So I'm going to explore her scariest parts by revealing her purpose, her motive. Just a quick context to refresh your mind, this little girl named Esther is actually 33 years old and pretends to be a child in the foster care system. And she does it to become part of new families, to eventually seduce and get with the husband. And of course, if something goes wrong along the way, she will simply murder the entire family and start the cycle all over again. There are so many gross things that instantly stand out. First, her deep desire to genuinely dress like a little girl is disturbing. It's not like she's wearing a regular outfit. She loves wearing the dresses and the bows, parading around other little girls, where she really takes this fantasy to an extreme. And the sad part is, she's actually very good at this roleplay. She uses her age to manipulate.
What are you going to do? Hit me?
To get close, sometimes a little too close. Stalking the parents, getting intimate. And unlike Femme or May, whose intentions are obvious looking at them, Esther's really aren't, because once again, she's a little girl. You can't think negatively and build a case around someone like her without others looking at you like you're crazy, which is exactly what happens in the first movie, where our intelligent, loving mother from Conjuring sees what's going on and constantly wants Esther gone, but the husband repeatedly fights it. He tells her she's being emotional. Esther's a little child, blah blah blah, and this allows Esther to carry on her plans so much longer. And speaking on her carrying out her plans, notice just one specific scene that proves that Esther does everything just for a fun little challenge. If you go to minute 42 of the second movie, Orphan's First Kill, we see Esther realizing she's about to get caught and her disguise is about to be unveiled. So at night, we see her slip out the back door to escape before it's too late. She reaches the backyard, slowly tiptoeing away until she glances back and catches a look at the father. And we see her instantly stop in her tracks and slowly start second guessing her entire runaway. Please notice that very subtle smile that comes across her face. Maybe it's a genuine smile showing love and lust for the father, but then that smile slowly drops off as things get real and she realizes her mission isn't done. She hasn't seduced the father yet. And this important moment is what convinces her to return to the house. As all the other women today at least had a purpose, no matter how twisted it was. La Femme wants revenge on the lady that killed her child, and May's precious little doll broke, so she simply just wanted to make a new one. But Esther doesn't have a reasoning for this at all. Yes, you could argue she wants love, she cares for the husband, but as we see right here, she can easily run away and find another less risky family to try again with. But this specific look, I really want you to pay attention. It shows us this is all a game. The manipulation, the tearing apart the husband from the wife, from the kids. She genuinely enjoys this step-by-step process, which makes her maybe the most disturbing of them all. If you guys want me to talk more about manipulative women, please let me know in the comments below, because I've recently seen some even crazier ones. And also click this playlist for more serial killer content. I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye bye, deuces!